Is that all you have today?
I've got 3 other items.
Oh, okay, we'll sneak it in there after 10.
They were live.
Oh.
He's doing. He's doing them. And we.
No, I think I felt that in my teeth.
Oh, like somebody trying to start that break, but.
All right, good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. We'll call the meeting of the Codington County Board of Commissioners to order for this Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. It's 9 a.m. and we'll go ahead and begin with the Pledge of Allegiance this morning. We'll have Sarah Thompson.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Sarah. So a reminder, please silence your cell phone so you do not disrupt the meeting this morning. If you would, please, we would appreciate that. Call for public comment may be submitted in person or by telephone by calling 605-882-6248 or our secondary number, which is 605-882-6297. Commissioners, any conflict of interest items?
No.
Hearing none, we'll look for an action to approve the December 9th agenda. And hold on just a second. Before we get to that, there will be a couple of amendments to that. A couple of emergency items that we're going to add for the community service director and also an item for the highway department on a couple of projects that are coming up here. So those are some changes. And with those changes added to the agenda, we'll look for motion to approve.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Schweer, second by Johnson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Number 5 is action to approve the December 2nd, 2025 minutes of the.
So moved.
We have a motion by Johnson and a second by McElhaney. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This is the time and the place for a public hearing on East River Power Cooperative Incorporated.
I'm not East River.
He's not here.
We get our calls and then I just come to support them. I don't know if the road's straight. They got slowed up by the road.
We can come back to that.
Sorry.
So,
Careful.
yeah, we just all kind of looked at you, Dave. Well, you have the answer again. Okay. All right. So we can come back if he is able to make it. Okay. That sound good? Item number 7 is action to approve resolution 2025-2023. That's part of that. So let's not do that one either. Let's move on to our monthly reports. And auditor is Brenda.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So this is the time of year, I'm still working on, well, levies have been sent into Department of Revenue. I have had to go back in and change the Webster School because they had an issue up there in Bay County with one of their chips. So I had to go in and correct the Webster School. So that has been done and made couple other tweaks. Otherwise, our levies look good. We're just waiting for the overlapping county to get theirs sent in. So we're looking good that way. Still, year end watching, monitoring all the budgets, so we're in compliance. I know we will be having a formal budget hearing on that last meeting of the month. We know for the 911, and that's only simply because of budgeting, that we received more money than I realized we were going to. We have the funds, it's just a matter of making that budget balance. And court appointed attorneys, that will be another one that I'm sure we will need to do a formal budget hearing on. So with that, I guess it's just year-end work.
Well, that's good.
All I have.
Commissioners, any questions for the auditor?
No.
If not, thank you, Brenda. Let's move on to the Director of Equalization, Shauna. Good morning.
Good morning, Sean.
I do not have too much to report. We are currently working or sent our 2025 sales into the Department of Revenue. They have already visited us and went through 3/4 of our sales for our audit. They'll look at the rest of the sales and then complete our audit and then send you guys out a report on that. The appraisers are out working on building permits. And I'm currently working on the assessment adjustments for the 2026 intentions. And those adjustments will be shown on the 2026 assessment notice that's going out in March.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Gordon. Community Service Director, good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
Sarah.
Good morning. I think I have a short report this morning as well, but may have a longer discussion. I think you have my monthly report that is. I guess I have copies to give you. Okay. Here are copies of that.
Oh, that
Thank you.
I did.
Yeah, we have it.
Okay, sounds good. No, that's good.
Two now.
Okay, perfect. November, for the holidays in there and days off, it was a busy month. Again, 40 individuals served, 68 different services, and 81 total client contacts. We have had 3 funerals here in the last couple of weeks, so those have come up. We did have to deny a funeral yesterday due to the family being over income limit. So not everybody qualifies, and we try to be very mindful of the county dollars with that as well. So, as I mentioned, South Dakota Cares is done, so that amount that you see under South Dakota Cares is from the end of September. That was when that ended. With that, any questions on the chart? I don't. Okay. Okay, I will move into the full report. For Medicaid reimbursement for our community health workers, we billed $1,878 in October. For the Department of Health CHW grant, we billed $757, and so those are both reimbursable dollars from the community health workers services that they're providing. We did, in the last month, we submitted the CHW opioid grant for $40,000, which we had talked about at one of the last meetings. And then also submitted a $50,000 community awareness campaign for South Dakota opioid funds. So both of those applications have been turned in. Angie is currently working with the state's attorney and judges on a pretrial program. It's going to involve more case management with the hope of keeping people out of long-term court services, and put some prevention work in that, but after they've been in the court system. The goal is to begin it in January, and it will have that case management piece too. For our systems of care and Codington Connect pieces, we have our interagency meeting this week. I'm very excited. Our state representatives are coming to that meeting, so if you have the opportunity to attend, this would be a really great meeting to attend. It's Thursday at 10 o'clock at the police department. And again, it'd be great to have any of the county commissioners that can make it to be part of that discussion. Our agency of the month this month is Department of Social Services Economic Assistance, and Sandy Kirkfleet, who is the director of that, is our individual of the month. And so I'll be watching Facebook for that and Codington Connect. For housing, that's the agenda item that we're adding. Transitional housing has been a goal for since we started this work. It was first emergency housing, and the next thing that we needed was transitional housing. There happens to look like there's some funds through the South Dakota Housing Authority. Unfortunately, Watertown Cares, we had hoped they would take that project on, but they have determined that they're not wanting to do that at this time. And so we would like the county to be the applicant with that. And again, that will be a good discussion here. For childcare, we have decided we're going to do another community survey for parents and employers to determine current childcare needs. And for the centralized location, we are hopefully be able to move that forward here in the next month or two, that we will be able to determine if that's feasible and what those numbers look like. For that, working on that. Codington Connects would be the primary owner of that project. And as always, check out Codington Connect at www.codingtonconnect.com for more events and information.
Any questions, commissioners? No? Good, thank you. All right. Thank you very much. We'll move on to this item that we were talking about. It's an emergency item. This is for grant approval. The grant, as it turns out, is due on Monday. And after what Sarah just explained to us, might be better if you explained it, but we're just looking for permission to apply for the grant at this point.
Right.
Oh, so moved.
So moved by Dave,
Second.
second by McElhaney. Any further discussion?
I do have the draft budget. This is very much a draft. This is not a final budget. It will change, but I wanted to give you an idea of what we're looking at. As I mentioned, transitional housing has been a community goal for years. We know that we need it. Watertown Cares continually has a waiting list of 20 to 30, sometimes up to 40 households waiting to get in. One of the barriers for that is some of the individuals in there need long-term support. This transitional housing grant would provide up to 2 years support for individuals that have been identified as currently homeless, meaning living in a shelter or living in a place not habitable, like a car or a shed or some tent in the winter, those kinds of things. So this transitional housing grant again would allow us to serve a population that currently doesn't have any programming or services in our community. What we would do is we would long-term lease properties. I've had a couple of conversations with a few different landlords. We're actually going to look at one this afternoon. We do not have to have all of the pieces in place for this grant. This is basically letting the state know. It's called a pre-application. It's letting the state know that we are interested in this and that we feel as a community that we can take this on and handle it. My hope is, so the timeline for it, I guess to let you know, again, the application is due next Monday, December 15th. The federal government is making some changes. So this is how the timeline has been. It could change, it all could change because the federal government can change what they're doing. But at this point, the timeline is this is due on Monday. The state has a month to review applications and determine what they want to do as a state. And then they will submit that to HUD. And then HUD will have a few months to look at that. They will make a determination in the spring. And at this point, funding would not come through until October, which means that if we can submit this grant now, we would have until next fall to determine exactly how it looks and what the implementation actually looks like. I'm very hopeful that by that time, Codington Connects would be at a point where they could help with some of the administration pieces. I have talked to the South Dakota Housing, to the state people, and we can do MOUs or subcontracts with other people if we're the entity. So essentially, in some ways, being a pass-through. This is really, again, just showing the state that our community is ready and invested in this.
Important piece.
There is, for you to know, there is a 25% match that can be either financial or in kind. So things like our office salaries can be included. One of the things that first I have really hoped Watertown Cares would be at a point where they could take it on. After that, realizing that wasn't going to be where this headed, looking at my office, actually my community health workers being able to bill Medicaid for community health workers could be part of that in-kind match as well. And so it would cover some of the work that my staff is doing that isn't covered. Like they do assessments of homeless people right now that through South Dakota Housing that we don't get reimbursed for, we will be able to get reimbursed through this thing.
But these are one-time monies.
No, well, yes, but no. So because it's
Sounds
one.
like a politician.
Yeah, I know. Can I give you more of a non-answer? What it is the federal government has decided to reallocate how they're spending homeless funds right now. Previously, there were a lot of homeless funds that went to permanent housing people that had trouble being permanently housed. They could use funding for that. Federal government has changed their stance on that and pulled funds back. So with that reallocation of funds, they're wanting to focus more on transitional housing, and that's where this funding comes available. South Dakota is in a position where any funding that, or the funding that the federal government has allocated needs to be spent or allocated in this round. If they don't,
If South Dakota doesn't spend it, we will lose it forever. And so it's a use it or lose it right now. However, if we get on and get a project and are approved, this will be continued funding year after year. So once we are approved, then Watertown will be able to continue to apply and likely will continue. It's kind of a get on the bus now. And once you're on the bus, you're on, your seat might change, but you're on the bus. But if you don't get on the bus, it's gonna leave without you.
There, for those that are listening or whatever, when you identify transitional housing,
Mhm.
what does that term mean?
Yes, a good question. So transitional housing is a longer term. So again, this funding in particular is up to 2 years that you can house people. That doesn't mean that you're paying for their housing the entire time, but there is funding to cover housing. So again, we would lease a property, but also in that is an intensive case management piece. Part of the federal requirements is that each individual in that program has 40 hours worth of community, or not community service, for 40 hours of case management planning every week. That could be employment. So if somebody's employed full time, that would be their 40 hours. But if they're only employed 20 hours, then the case manager needs to work with them to have another 20 hours of case management. So it's not a free ride by any means. It's people that are working to really get their lives together, which is our community goal. How can we get people to become productive members of our community? And that's really what this is looking at, how we get people on their feet and help them be able to be good tenants and contributing members of our community.
Thank you.
Good. Okay, any more discussion?
Mr. Chair.
Yes, Commissioner Gable.
Just quick. So I might have, the audio is a little hard for me to hear. So did you say what if you haven't budgeted for this? If there is any actual financial amount that we would need to pay as part of the match, for 2026, are we? It sounds like it might not be that big of an amount if it is anything, but if it is 2026, is that going to be a problem? Or if it is, since
I think we would be okay in 2026 because it wouldn't start until October.
Okay.
Also, I would work really well. I think there are some places that we could potentially find funds, possibly some other donations to other nonprofits or things that we could potentially find funds. But I would also work very hard to have that match be from work that we're already doing.
With that part two, Sarah, like you talked about subcontracting with Connect Care, so they can also fundraise. So some of those things could come through those other entities that you subcontract.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, very much so. If we do subcontract those agencies, so whether if that Watertown Care is decided at that point to subcontract, they would be responsible for the 25% match as well as Codington Connect if they did, they would be responsible for their.
Yes.
Because we're doing this as an emergency matter.
Yes.
I just want to cover the legal part of it. Just because we apply for the grant does not mean that we have to accept it too.
Exactly.
And so if at some point we receive the grant money, but we couldn't budget for it for whatever reason, we could ultimately deny it.
Yes.
So today's purposes, we're just voting on whether or not we're allowed to apply for the grant.
Okay, all right.
Thank you.
And with that being said,
Clarifying.
we already have a motion and a second, so let's go ahead and vote. Okay? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sarah.
We'll get details later. Thank you. Okay, let's move on with the item number 9. Oh, okay. All right, let's go back to item number 6. This is a public hearing on East River Power Cooperative Incorporated. East River, come on up. We'll go ahead and open the public hearing.
Introduce yourself and talk right into the microphone.
All right, first of all, I apologize, the road's got like slick already, so I think the weather folks are accurate. Here's a quick little handout I put together. I see your agenda is quite long today, so I'll keep it pretty minimal here, but
Thank you.
Hear that, JT? The long agenda today.
I noticed.
Okay.
So my name is Dre Wire. First off, thank you for allowing me. And I got Dave Whitey with Codington Clark along as well. If you have any questions for either of us, but thank you for allowing me to be here today and speak on behalf of East River. What we're looking for today is just a continuation of our 2006 franchise agreement with Codington County here. I'll just dive right in, kind of what East River, who we are I think some people have a little bit of an idea, but not maybe fully, but basically our mission at East River is an electric cooperative. We exist to enhance the value of our members. We were started in 1949 by our members, which Codington Clark is one of our members. We have a 25 member co-op network that I'll get to later. But in 1949, we were started by 21 distribution cooperatives in eastern and South Dakota, just to do the transmission line for them, the higher voltage to get to the farms and businesses. Our principles there, I won't go through those, but you can read through if you want. Our values of the cooperative, we exist, or our Touchstone Energy Cooperative values are integrity, accountability, innovation, and commitment to community. Our employees at East River, we do have 165 employees, give or take, located in 8 locations. Our headquarters is in Madison, South Dakota. We've got outposts in Aberdeen, Yankton, Sioux Falls, Marshall, Milbank, Miller, and Mitchell. So as I mentioned, we serve 24 rural electric distribution cooperatives, 1 municipality in eastern South Dakota. We're in Madison. We've been in existence for 75 years. We're serving our members cooperatives with reliable, affordable, and sustainable electricity. Distribute that energy to their member owners. In this case, it's Codington Clark Electric, the power farms, businesses, and just everyday life activities. We have about a 41,000 square mile service territory in eastern South Dakota, serving 41 counties in South Dakota and 22 counties in Minnesota. So in our system, we have just under 3,300 miles of strictly transmission line, and we own and operate 265 substations in this territory as well. In Codington County, we have roughly right around 100 miles of transmission line and 5 substations. On slide 8 there, you can see our different members in our territory. On slide 9, it just kind of shows some of our 265 substations and kind of how some of our grid is made up in eastern South Dakota. So another number we put out there is we serve about 160,000 individual members, and we have, with all our membership, about 191,000 meters in our system. In Codington Clark, we have about 2,500 members that are served through them, and about 1,800 miles of distribution line that they maintain. On slide 10, that's kind of how our system works. We get our power generation from Basin and WAPA. Then East River runs the transmission lines to the substations that serve Codington Clark, and then from there it's brought to homes and businesses. Yeah, we own and operate all the transmission lines and substations. On slide 12, that is the map that was provided in our packet where our systems currently are. Then 13 and 14, there are just our franchise agreements from 2006 that we're wanting to renew today. With that, I'll open up if you guys have any questions.
Are there any questions, Mr. Wyatt? This is a public hearing, so if you're here to speak in support, you're welcome to do that. So we'll take support comments if you would like to do that, Dave. You want to come on up here, Dave, and we'll just have you. We got room. Have you at the table. That way you're on microphone for the meeting.
Yeah.
Button.
Yeah, I'm Dave. I'm the manager of Codington Clark Electric, and we rely on East River day in and day out, every day. Keep the lights on. So if we didn't have them, we wouldn't have the lights and the power that we need to deliver. So we're all in East River, and we really appreciate a renewal of the franchise. Yeah, that's all I have.
All right, thank you very much. Is there anybody else to testify or to make comments? This is a real time and place for the public hearing. Anybody in opposition to this request? If not, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing at this time. Thank you very much. And we will move on to item number
Seven.
This is action to approve resolution 2025-23, East River Electric Cooperative Incorporated franchise application, which you do have in your packet in front of you. So moved by Johnson, second by Commissioner Schwer. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming out and sharing.
You bet.
All right.
And I think Dave was gonna buy you coffee.
Fair enough.
We appreciate you keeping the lights on for us. Thank you. All right, action to authorize the chair to sign a right-of-way certificate for Bridge 15-190-122. Rain, good morning, Rain.
Good morning.
This is just another step in our bridge improvement grant funding request. I'm just asking for authorization again for the chair to sign the right-of-way certificate. This is just stating that we have gathered all of the easements adjacent to this bridge. This bridge is on our county road 11-1, so it's just south of the county line.
Move to approve.
Motion by Johnson,
Second.
second by McElhaney, I believe. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Move on to item number 10. This is action authorize the chair to sign a utility certificate for that same project. This is Bridge 15-190-022.
That's correct. This is just an addition, stating that we contacted all the utilities that might be involved with this bridge project. To ensure that anything that needs to be moved would be moved prior to the project taking place. And again, there's some set for authorization for the chair to sign.
Move to approve.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Johnson, second by Schwer. Any discussion? Questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. We'll go ahead and move on to an emergency item. Anyone should go ahead and give us an explanation on this, please.
All right. We had Midwest Pipelining come in to correct some issues we're having with some of our sewer pipes at our county building, our county highway department building. In doing so yesterday, they discovered that we do have another line that has some issues due to the fact of this pipe being from 1962. There was some deterioration, and what they needed to do is clean that and sleeve it. So this is in addition to a project they started last week. Total cost for this portion in addition would be $4,040.82.
I'd make a motion to approve, declare an emergency and motion to approve.
We do have a motion by Commissioner Gable, second by Commissioner McElhaney. Now is the time for discussion. Commissioner Johnson.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I interrupted him before, but, this is in your budget.
Yes. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
There's a budget item. Yeah. We're able to see into the future in the budget. But good. All right. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's move on to item number 11, action to approve the purchase of portable radiant heaters for the highway shop. It's getting cold in there.
Yeah. This is for our truck storage portion, the portion that's being remodeled this year. We're not gonna have heat in there yet this year, even though it's gonna be fully enclosed. This is to help thaw the vehicles out during the winter time. These are both portable units, two different sizes. A larger one, which would be, although it's mobile, would be stationary, kept within that portion. The smaller one would be mobile if we need to use in our outbuildings or in our outside shops. The current one we have is a liquid propane one that does not work properly in cold temperatures. It will freeze up. So it's not sufficient for what we need out there.
Are these electric?
These are electric and diesel.
And are they budgeted?
They are budget item, yes. Total comes to $6,340 to the purchase of the two of these.
Motion to approve.
We have a motion by Johnson to approve and a second by Commissioner McElhaney. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 12, thank you, Randy. This is discussion possible action to approve updated facilities technician 2 job description. And we'll get Steve up here to look on. Morning, Steve.
Good morning.
And HR,
Yeah,
now
we're gonna have.
Double trouble.
We're gonna have boys trouble.
Yeah, hire who?
No, what this is, the update of the description,
Natalie. then.
the updated of the description, so that back when we had the survey done 5 years ago, and so that they added this position of that position. That position never did get changed to upgrade for that description, so this is the upgrade that, definition for that, and added on how much time is required for the position of, experience or education.
The change was made, I think you have a copy of this, I believe. Right.
Looking for it.
I don't have one. Just tell us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
That's all right, Linda. We don't.
Lee has it up on the screen, if you want
There
to
it is.
look at it up there.
other top here.
Oh, sorry.
Lee does have it on.
So the minimum qualifications was changed to a minimum of 5 years of experience, or as, Steve said, education experience, and then we also added up, in the first section, under essential duties, bullet point number 3, it says perform routine maintenance of small equipment and facilities, including plumbing. We added and basic carpentry / construction skills jobs.
Get a little more defined.
We're really looking for somebody that, we have a facilities tech 1 position as well, so that would be a less skilled position, less years of experience. And this, we're looking for somebody with a little bit more experience, obviously, a little bit more skilled.
Okay, we'll look for a motion to approve.
Almost.
Sure.
Second.
By Gable. Any discussion? Comments or questions on the new proposed job description? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, now, in relation to that, this is possible action to approve posting and hiring for that position.
Yes.
So moved by Johnson. We have a
Second.
Second by McElhaney. Any discussion?
I'll describe it. So, last week I had an individual that, resigned from his employment, so I am now sort of staff member, so.
Okay,
The bill of vacancy
Yep.
is a pay grade 20 position, step 1 pay starts at $20.31. It will be open until those.
get those applications. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trying to get it filled. Natalie, what is the process for that, if you can explain, when we have an opening in the county, for putting the word out there to potential applicants?
Yeah, good question. So usually email internally, to let people know internally that there's an opening. We post it on Indeed. We post it on South Dakota Works, which is the South Dakota Job Service site. Occasionally, a department head may also choose to do additional advertising, paid advertising options. The other ones are all free advertising. And then as applications are received, they're sent to the department head for review. We do require a county application for anybody that we are going to consider further, so may follow and request that. And then the interview process takes place with the department head and or myself who might be involved in that, and the department head wishes.
Okay,
That's kind of what we do.
okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Curious to see how many applications we get on with the changes that we made, so it should be good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, number 14 is discussion possible action to approve the updated county personnel and procedures manual.
Yeah, so this is a, heavy lift always. We are going through, several updates and we actually have more to do. So we're breaking this into pieces. So this is not the last time you will hear about this probably this year, but this is the first round. So we did not print out the entire
personnel manual for you, just to save a tree. Lee has it if you want to pull it up on the screen to walk through it, but you should have a summary document in front of you of what the changes are, that we can walk through. And then if there's any specific questions you have as well, some of these are changes that I've also been working through with our state attorney, so Allison is here if she needs to come up or if you have any questions. So, all right, so getting started. We are changing all fonts to Times New Roman, per the state's attorney request. We are changing all pronouns from him/her to they, their, per the state's attorney's request. We will then update the table of contents. There's a lot of references throughout the manual to policy dates that things were implemented. And so, given that so much time has passed, like it might say revised 1998 and amended 2007, I think we can get rid of all of those dates because this is what we're doing going forward. And then as we make further updates, of course, when we revise the sections, we can keep doing that. But I don't think we need to reference dates that took place 20 years ago. One of the biggest things, just as to try to make things more transparent, in the back of the manual, there were several commissioner directives. So as commissioner directives would take place, they would just, in the past, add that to the back, but it didn't always get updated in the appropriate section of the policy, and therefore it could be confusing as you were looking at things that might have been conflicting between the main section and then the commissioner directive. And so the goal in the future would be to amend the manual section and put that revision date, what the change was or what the updates was. So we can get rid of that being in the back of the manual and difficult to find and reference. And on the notice to all employees, we added the bolded part which says updates to or adopted by county commissioners and existing state and federal law, for the state's attorney's request. Remove the commissioner appointments from the front of the manual to the back section 10.3, which is where it talks about commissioner liaison. I know Commissioner Gable does have some appetite to maybe take it completely out of the manual and reference them somewhere else. So if that's something you guys want to do, that's an option too, but I just relocated them for right now and updated them so that they were referencing current commissioners. Updated the disclaimer section to add the bolded word for non-elected employees for state's attorney request. Updated the disclaimer section to add policy language, which references the South Dakota Codified Law. As you can read there, providing county commissioners with the authority to oversee how the financial fiscal resources of the county are spent. Authority includes the authority to see how employees oversee how employees and county are compensated for their employment, including elected officials. Updates to the equal employment opportunity language. There are some additional protected classes that were not referenced in the prior version of the manual. So making sure that we have all those protected classes covered now. So that is in several sections of the manual that it references those that were updated. Updated the complaint procedure to remove reference to affirmative action given Trump's executive orders. And we currently do not have affirmative action procedures as well, so we don't need to reference that language. I am on number 12. Updated the requesting an accommodation section for my HR suggestions. Just adding the correct process of that. There is a form, we would get the job description and the position certificate. And then added the other folded language written notification will be mailed to the employee and issued in place for the documentation may be necessary to adequately determine the suitability of this request. Updated the title of the sexual harassment harassment section to just harassment, as that covers both of those and there's no need to list them separately. And updated the protected class reference in this section as well. Updated the workplace violence policy for the state's attorney request to comply with current state firearm laws. So you can see what was added and then what was strike through there. Anybody have any questions that I'm going through? I'm just going to keep going. Okay, 15, updated the storm policy for HR suggestion. There is reference where those hours are going to be if the courthouse closes, so just added that line that says credit will be in the form of vacation hours and the employee's vacation bank. There is some language about this within union contracts, but nothing within the personnel manual, so we know what happens. If there's been questions, does it go to vacation, does it go to comp time, where do those hours go? So, put it in there. Updated outside employment, to strike the health portion. For the state attorney's request, we don't have the ability to prevent their health insurance carrier from granting coverage for premiums paid, no matter how the injury occurs. Updated the internet and email policy per state attorney's request, added the bolded part to the end of the section. Added number 18, added 313, bringing children to work from the commissioner directive, which is in the back, and now putting the actual policy language. Same thing in the back, just moved, relocated. Updated employee use of county vehicles, to add the following bolded section, which came from the commissioner directive, but was again not in this specific area. Added the news release policy from the commissioner directive that was in the back, and updated it to be in the manual section. Updated the training period, policy for commissioner directive 21. The policy manual said that employees in their probationary period may not use leave until completion of training period, but the commissioner directive said that they were allowed to use it at the discretion of their department head during the first 6 months of employment. So just made that consistent with what the commissioner directive was. 5-6 selection, just updated for the EEO criteria, as previously stated. 5-10, creating new positions, added the bolded part, which is indicating that if we're creating a new position, that draft job description should be submitted to human resources and the commission for review and approval. And then human resources will determine the appropriate placement of a new position on the wage scale. Training period, updated per commissioner directive, same thing, just inconsistent from the manual to the back about allowing if they could use their vacation or not. So took the policy from the commissioner directive. The promotion section, updated per the EEO criteria. Police protection personnel, updated the sheriff's department work hours, based on discussions that we've had during the time clock process. Setup, the manual says that their work week was 12 a.m. on Sunday to 11:59 on Saturday, and apparently it's actually 6 a.m. Sunday until 5:59. Oops, that's a typo, a.m. That should be on Monday. These go up, not p.m. That's a.m. Sunday to Sunday, basically. Pay period and payday, updated per the commissioner directives and the bold section. Timesheet, updated for HR requests and also commissioner directives, moved the one part to realign better under the department head responsibility. So you can see what was struck through and then removed. Timesheet investigation 7.72, added for state attorney's request. 7.9 shift differential, added the bolded part for HR request and added information for full-time employee shift differential, which is in the union contract. What was not stated in the personnel manual. Flex time 7.10. My consideration for you is to rename this policy to alternative work schedule. I do feel like it sometimes tends to create confusion. As I read the policy language, I didn't change anything with, just changed the name of it and how it's referred to. I think this is intended to be a more permanent arrangement and isn't intended for short-term weekly flex requests. If we want to look at a different policy for those, we should implement this, but this is more like, hey, I don't want to work 8 to 5 Monday through Friday, and I want to bring a formal proposal to change my schedule. That would be what this section, as I read it, would be intended for. Doesn't happen very often. Overtime, just added a line, the bold part to make an exception for law enforcement personnel, as noted in 711-1. And then 711-1 change the hours again as well. Again, this should say 5:59 AM, not PM, so I'll make that correction, note that. All right, 712, compensatory time off. For your consideration is removing the strike-through section, which indicates when we will pay out comp time and how it can be accrued in a time period that runs from September 1st to August 31st. As far as I have ever been here, we have never done that. So if we're not following the policy, I would not recommend we have it in the policy manual. If you want to keep it there and implement it, that's up to you guys. Change the amount of comp time accrual from the 90 to 80, as the 80 was what was in the back and was in the commissioner directive. So again, with conflicting information, but I think the intent was to follow the commissioner directive. And added the other bolded section about the weeds. There's an exception for that. That was in the commissioner directive. Again, just moved that language to the front, did not change it. 714.9 travel time compensation for non-exempt employees. This was in the commissioner directive, so I moved it into the main language of that. Did not change anything out on that. All right, 37, updated 801 health insurance and dental insurance to comply with the current process for insurance. There was some outdated language indicating what amounts you paid, which were amounts from probably a couple of years ago. So just added the language that says the amount that the county will pay will be determined on an annual basis. And took out the outdated language about the HSA contribution, which we did for the first time in January 2024, that no longer applies. Eliminated COVID, and all references to COVID as per the CDC, it should be treated as a respiratory virus. So I don't feel like we need to have that language in here anymore. It's implemented in 2021. 8.6 family medical leave, updated that it the human resources for information regarding family medical leave act. It said management, which is very vague, and I'm not sure who that was, but if they want to initiate an FMLA claim, contact HR. Personal emergency leave, would consider for you removing the section about the number of hours. I have never seen this followed as well. It says that if you want to use sick leave, there's a stipulation on how much you can use for your family members versus yourself. But I don't know that we actually have a good way to track that, or that we've ever tracked that. And I don't think we'll have a good way in CCT either. So I would just recommend we remove it. 41, updated 10.3 again, the commissioner liaison, to add all the assignments to the beginning of the manual. To that section, as we talked about already. Updated the exit interview process, as the language was outdated, in regards to forms being available and filled out, but, exit interviews are connected by human resources and shared with the commissioners with the employees request.
Yes.
I got 2 or 3 more, don't be done with me yet. Move collective bargaining agreement to appendix A.
I don't even know.
You ran out? Oh, sorry, it must have been another page somewhere. We're on 43.
I'm okay then.
Okay.
I was just trying to wrap it up.
I know, it's long, I'm sorry. Move collective bargaining agreement to appendix A, just change the order of it and how it was referenced in the manual. Move compensation to appendix B, move travel request form to the form section like it was in the commissioner directive. So that's a lot of stuff. Thank you for
Thank you.
bearing with me. Do you have any questions, comments, or concerns?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you, Natalie, for the work that you put into this, and to our state's attorney for reviewing that and going through this. This is it's a tedious process, but it's a necessary process. And hopefully, cleaning this up right now, we won't have to do it for a few more years, but staying on top of that is key to making sure that it's effective. So thank you very much. So discussion possible action to approve the updated, those changes. Are we ready to do that?
I think we do it all together. Once we're done.
I said, do you wanna,
I'll make a
We-
motion to approve.
This half, Commissioner Gable. There will be more changes coming with the second
Yeah.
half of, but. And
Yeah,
third,
so
all looking.
we can
at
wait.
How they updated and then give you the next section. if we could.
yeah. Do we
What would
want,
you, what would you prefer? Yeah, I guess would be my question.
I would like to get approved what we went through, but I can give you another sheet next time of the next changes and like have that part done, but it's up to you.
okay,
I
that's
can
fine, so
be
we'll do
flexible.
that. We have a motion on the table to approve these changes today. Do I have a second by Commissioner Johnson. Any further discussions? If not, all in favor say aye.
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 Commissioner McElhaney, I didn't hear you.
Aye.
There you go, okay. Opposed? Motion carries, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
All right.
You're not done with me yet, though.
Oh, that brings us to the next item, number 15, discussion possible action to accept and adopt the 2025 market update from McGrath Consulting. More exciting stuff.
More exciting stuff, yeah, so as you know, my graph was hired, by you to do another market update to keep track of where we are and with our wages. This is just wages looked at, not any other benefits or things like that. So in front of you is the final report that they went through, as they always do. They pulled comparable data, so if you wanna start with that, the counties on page 4 that were utilized, or cities in some cases as well, that were utilized for determining how our salaries lined up. You can see the list of counties, cities, and other public, entities. We had very good, response from all the people. Only one of the counties that we tried to reach out to did not participate or did not provide data. So, McGrath felt like they had a really good data pool that they could pull from. So, as they all do, they go through and they look at minimum salaries and how that lines up with their minimum. And then they do a midpoint analysis, and then they do a maximum analysis. So that's what you can see with these different graphs and where we line up. If we are red, we are under. If we are white, we are in, and if we are blue, we are outside. So I'm not a data analyst to explain all of this to you, so I will refer you to the summary on page 7. It's just basically, they said it appears that some positions are losing competitiveness through the ranges. Some positions in tension must be moved to a new grade, while others simply need to be corrected through an across-the-board adjustment. So they have recommended the salary schedule update, the 7 different items that are outlaid there. And then they recommended that employees should be placed on the wage scale at the step closest to their current salary without receiving a decrease in wages. Commented as well that employees, if they're placed within the ranges, they will be aligned with the market. And then again, recommendations to you to continue to do this process every 3 to 5 years to check what the market is and how the market changes. And then you'll see Appendix A is the salary schedule that they have recommended. This salary schedule is current as of the market survey. This is the salary schedule. I will say, if you proceed with a COLA adjustment for this year, then this salary schedule would be adjusted January 1st, 26 for COLA. So this is not probably going to be the final January 1st rate, but this is what they presented as of the time they completed this report.
This information shared with our unions,
With what?
will they be receiving this, our unions?
Yes, they have already received that,
Okay,
and they have additional information provided to them as well, that was specific to their union. They have all received that, yes.
Look for a motion to accept.
So moved.
So moved by Commissioner Schwer. Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Gable. Any discussion?
I believe last year when you did this, you put it on the website for public information, but questions, you want to get that in
Yes.
as well.
Transparency. Should put it up there.
How do we get through that?
Do it, Brenda, and we have our web
Okay.
people doing.
Okay, I think. I say you have it
All right,
electronically.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
The motion carries.
Thank you.
Number 16 is discussion possible action to approve the 2026 AFSCME Highway Department Collective Bargaining Agreements.
Yes, so, we were able to reach consensus with our union for AFSCME and the highway department for a new contract for next year. So I just printed the applicable pages for you here. There is a full final contract, Brenda has copies for that we need to be signed, original, you keep it original, HR has original, and the union keeps it original. This, year, as you recall, we were just negotiating wages with the wage opener only. Can you say?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
A 42.6% cost of living adjustment will be
the
added.
board is an act. It's hard to tell them it's
There's
correct.
there's no tax. But
Oh, it's not your.
okay, that's all right. I'm just making sure we're not giving them a 42% increase.
Yeah.
Okay,
So we were just negotiating wages this year. So what's updated in front of you is the contract date, 2026. Page 26, the dates are updated when this would be signed. The COLA that was agreed on is, sorry, indicating is a 2.6% COLA that would be added to the wages as of January 1st. So again, taking that wage scale that you just saw from McGrath and adjusting upwards for 2.6%. Below in there is that completed, which I did. We also agreed with them that employees would placed on the wage scale at the step closest to their current salary without a decrease in wages. Employees with 7 or more years of service as of January 1st, 26 will receive a minimum placement of step B on their position placement at the appropriate pay grade placement. That's what we placement there. And then the new insurance plan that you already approved was inserted here and removed the 2025 plan. The highway has met and voted unanimously for this new contract. So this is your approval if you're in agreement.
hey, look for a motion to approve.
So moved.
Maybe motion by Johnson, second by Gable. Any further discussion? Again, would just like to thank you for your work on this and also thank the highway department for.
It's a very pleasant negotiation session. I think that for the professionalism.
We'd like to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to this item number 17, this is discussion possible action to approve a pay period change for time clock plus implementation, which has been difficult to say the least, but, Brenda?
Well, Natalie kind of.
Natalie?
I can
We worked
start,
on,
yeah.
yeah, you can start. I just tweaked the dates. so.
Yeah, we can jump in. So, what you have in front of you is, a time clock policy, and again, this is kind of talking about our intention, and then some of the language would actually get updated in the personnel manual as well, but not all of this would go in, but our intention then is to implement the time clock plus system for all county employees, effective. What you have, Lee, is incorrect. Brenda made some updates to that, so it should say February 15th instead of January.
I sent an email this morning, Lee, with a new one on there. If you would
Yeah,
look
I
at-
just didn't get a chance to, I saw it, but I just didn't get it. So this would be the same thing, except would say February 15th
Yeah.
instead of January
Yeah.
18th. Yeah.
And then, so employees are gonna start tracking their time on this. To clarify, and I probably need to put some language of that, that would be non-exempt employees that would be tracking their time. And the pay period that would then run February 15th to March 15th. So that changed, Lee. Employees would receive their regular paycheck on February 24th. as we do now, those wages are actually paid through February 28th. So we would be considering the February 15th through February 28th to be a pay advance, because you would actually be paying those same hours on the mail check. So we will work through that with the employees to withhold the advance over the next 4 months. Then on the 15th of February, with the implementation of time clock plus, the county standard pay period would be a monthly cycle that would begin on Sunday or Monday, depending on the department and how they define work week. Most of the county is Sunday. Most of the county is Monday, some is Monday, actually. So, following the previous pay period end on the third Sunday of each month. They would continue to be actually paid on the last Tuesday of each month, with the exception of Christmas, as we do now, which is December 23rd. Tuesday before. Right. Should be, I guess, yeah, hopefully, that's probably, I can change it though to just say the Tuesday before. That makes sense. Yeah.
And I could say that there was a lot of discussion surrounding this. We have spent hours talking about this and how are we gonna make this happen, so. Look for a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
That was Matt Laney, right? Okay, and a second by Gable? Any further discussion? All in
I'm showing
favor?
I'm showing the correct one on the screen now, I think.
That is correct, yeah, thank you, Lee.
Thank you, Commissioner Gable.
I will make a couple of tweaks to this, to indicate that it is the non-exempt employees, and then to correct that Tuesday before.
Let's all vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 18, action to approve the auditor's account with treasurer and note monthly register of deeds fees.
You have that information in your packet that shows all of the cash, that was on the last day of November. That was in the treasurer's office, and then the other one does show all of the custodial funds that were sent to the schools, the townships, cities, and towns. The ending amount was 26,618,991.38, and then the registered deed fee 28,373.55.
Have a motion to approve. Motion by Johnson. Second by Schwer. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That motion carries. Thank you.
We won't do 19. I'm going,
Okay, we're gonna remove 19 off of the agenda then for the auditor. Number 20 is note board meeting date for last week in December. We did, because of the holiday and because of the year end, we did talk about this and we decided that we would meet on that 5th Tuesday in December, which is not a normal meeting date for us, but we want to clean up everything before the end of the year. So we will be meeting on that Tuesday, which is
December 30th. I took the 25 down, December
okay,
30th.
December 30th. Okay, December 30th. So please make, commissioners make a note on your calendar that we will meet that day. Number 21 is action to approve abatement applications.
Oh, there's none.
None. Number 22, actions.
No budget supplement.
Well, wait till. It's back there.
Okay.
Claims for payment.
Okay.
Okay.
You have that whole packet in,
Your packet.
yeah, where are the claims there? Yeah. I did add on at the end, our workman's comp comes due of that 107,756, which made the total amount 1,721,863.88. The state pass through amount this month was 471,321.83. So the remaining county claims is 1,250,542.05. Now, if there's something in there that jumped out at you that you would have a question about, I am quite happy to answer any questions for you.
I don't have a question, but the court appointed attorney just drives me nuts.
I know.
I mean, nothing you can do about it, but, I hope everybody noted what it was this past month.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Another one again. That's why that will be a formal budget hearing, no doubt.
I'll make a motion to
We're
approve.
not in the boat by ourselves on that deal. Statewide issue. We do have a motion, I think Commissioner Gable, was that you?
Yep.
Okay, and do I have a second?
Okay.
Second by Commissioner Johnson. Any discussion?
The squeaky wheel gets greased, that's why I keep bringing it up, and it would be.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 23 is action for, action to approve automatic budget
Nothing
supplements.
for 23, 24, 25.
Number 26, public notices of a possible quorum of commissioners could be in attendance at this week. Do you have anything? If not, we'll move on. Item number 27 is old business. Anybody have any old business?
Well, Mr. Chair, I could talk about the jail real quick. That's
Mr.
okay.
Gable?
Yeah, just if you look at the screen, hopefully you can see that. Just a list of the change orders currently. So you can see the big one. We talked about the deeper footings in area A, so that's the main housing area. So that's what the we knew that was going to be one of the higher ones so far. But that we still have plenty of construction contingency in place. The other big point of discussion is some of the smoke evacuation. There's some changes in the smoke evacuation system, requires some reworking of some of the drawings. It's not likely to actually cost anymore because there's already enough budget in that part of the project budget for that we expect. But just that's kind of the main point of discussion right now.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody have any questions on that? Good information. Thanks for the update, Commissioner. Anything for new business? I asked Carol, the treasurer, county treasurer, to come on up here. Carol, if you could, I hate to put you on the spot, but we had a request yesterday that came to us about wanting to close the office tomorrow because of the carpet install. So I figured you'd probably be the best one to talk about that. So
The carpet got delivered to going floor covering last week, and they scheduled the install for this week. So yesterday they started by tearing the old stuff up and getting the glue off and all that stuff, and then they're gonna lay it like in sections. But when we were actually in the middle of it, it's not exactly it's sort of not a good situation. They have all that stuff going on, and then you got the glue that's gonna come in, and starting probably on Wednesday, because today is a move day, they're gonna move furniture around so that they could get things more situated for the next loan. And Justin is doing some fixing some patches in the wall. But anyway, so today is a quiet day, they're not doing anything, then they're gonna move sometime today, and then the company's gonna come back tomorrow, tear all the old stuff up, do their grinder thing, and then lay the other off. So what I'm looking at is possibly seeing if you guys could close the office for the next 2 business days when they start doing that, but we're not gonna do it. Because we're gonna lose our windows when we actually work with the public. And apologize for the short notice, but I didn't have the notice till Friday, so it wasn't.
Commissioners, I would entertain your thoughts, I guess, on this. Closing it for 2 days is. I understand the request. I don't know what kind of a hardship that's gonna put on people.
It is December, so all the private taxes have been paid, and there are no renewals in December. And we're gonna have ice storm today, so.
Optimism.
Did you order that?
No, just convenient. No.
So, Mr. Chair,
Commissioner. Madeline,
I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to understand. What is the request here?
Carol, can you turn your volume up on your mic there? Maybe not quite that much, but there you go. There you go, right there.
The request is to close the county treasurer's office on Wednesday and Thursday so that they can do the carpet installation.
Okay,
I guess I would have Steve maybe come up. Steve, if you could, Steve, yeah, if you could come up here and just kind of tell us a little bit about the process involved in this and I know Carol has probably the best understanding of what the office needs are and that sort of thing.
Yep, currently, right now, like it is, like she had stated, they're gonna move the furniture and so that, and tomorrow, they will come in and do the other sections of that. They will do the last section later of the, east side of our office and so that, because that way we can have room to move that stuff out of there too. So that is the process right now that's gonna occur.
There's no way to keep a window open during that process, Carol, at all, or?
We had to.
Well, during that, as Troy said, I don't understand. There, can you keep the window open?
Historically, when they've done a carpet replacement, they've done it over a 3-day weekend. And we moved all the furniture out, and then they did the project. Well, this year, because of how it all got thrown at the end, they don't have a 3-day weekend to do it on. So, you know, they've done our carpet twice in the 30 years I've been here, and
You getting carpet already?
I know it, that's what I'm thinking.
I don't know.
Take it back.
I don't know about that.
But anyway, that's a situation. We haven't had to be under construction during a work week. I mean, fortunately, it's about the best month you could do it.
Yeah.
Second only to August. So August and December would be the best time for that kind of project. But anyway,
Well, it's too bad that we have to close the office for two days, but on the other hand, I understand.
Yeah,
You know, and we authorized to get the thing carpeted, and so let's get it carpeted. If we maybe close it down for a couple of days, get the job done, I think people will understand.
Mr. Chair,
sure.
people still can do like some of the stuff online if they would need.
Yeah.
right, vehicles can be done on self-service terminal out at Hy-Vee, and they can do renewals online through this 605 drive system.
Hey, Carol, what is the plan for the staff? How are you gonna handle the staff?
The people that have vacation, I'm gonna have them use vacation. I got 2 new hires that don't have leave, so I can't really force them out. But I've got the director of equalization has wetland projects that they're working at now. I've actually have 1 employee already over there working on that project because of the situation in the office.
Okay. I'm okay with it. Commissioners, are you okay with closing the office for Wednesday and Thursday of this week?
Yeah.
That's our.
Yes.
Done.
Commissioner Gale?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
You'll take care of doing a media release and getting the word out about that, okay?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy the new carpet.
Yeah. Thank you, Steve. All right, public comments. Do we have anything for the?
Can I ask one thing? This is a new business. So I just need to run something by you. So why we have feedback. Okay. So, you know, with year end coming and claims, I just kind of asked Tyler Clott with Tegra just to project maybe what the cost could be for the jail project for this year. It's up to you guys if you would want to do this. Beckenhauer said they'd be okay to wait till after the year or after the new year. So Tegra and Beckenhauer and Architect and Geotech, those and Tegra's reimbursable. So those 3 would come to an amount of $1,037,101 or $37,120. that is up to you if you'd want them to submit that as a draft book number 5 and pay it yet in December. We do have in the county jail bill, 3,701,972.09 yet. So I guess that's up to you. I mean, these folks are fine with waiting till after the first of the year, or if we would want to take care of this yet this year, that's your choice.
Just, Mr. Chair, if I could comment on that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would say as long as the money is there and they've done the work, and which we would know because we've hired Tegra to make sure that, you know, we're paying as we go, we're paying for the work done, then I would be fine with just going ahead and taking care of it.
Make sure that it is work that is completed.
Any interest on the money that will be earned if we hang on to it after the first year?
This might have been our account, well, Harold does invest some of that, but, we did receive our first drawdown from the bond money, which we did have to do to stay compliant with the IRS, so we did receive some over $3 million in our county funds now that I have to put in a certain account, so, yeah.
I would say if we have the money, let's pay it.
Okay, I'll let Tyler know then to make sure that it is work that has been completed.
Well, that was kind of the agreement that we had from the get-go was to, pay as we got the project complete.
That's why I thought I would just kind of reach out to them and ask them if they had an estimate of what they thought might be something that would come through, so we know. Okay,
Sounds good.
good enough.
Just for the record, I wasn't trying to not pay the bill.
No, I know.
I'm curious about what that meant if we hung on to it for another month, so.
Well, that new carpet is kind of hurt.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's move on to the open. Is there anybody here to testify in the open? Yeah, anybody for the open? Seeing none, we'll move on to commissioner comments.
Mr. Chair, tomorrow is the quarterly meeting for South Dakota retirement. Normally I would leave after this meeting and head for Pier, but with the weather conditions the way they are, I might even get out there, but I might not be able to get home. So, I'm going to do a Zoom meeting with them, and Glenn Bielhauer was gonna ride with me, and we both agreed to this, stay home where it's dry and warm and safe, and we'll have a report next week.
Your voice will be heard anyway.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you for the update. Anybody have anything else? Commissioners? Seeing none, we do have a need for executive session for the purpose of contract negotiations and negotiating with employees or employee representatives. This is under SDCL 1-25-2 subsection 3. So with that, we'll look for a motion. We do not anticipate any action following executive session. Look for a motion to go into executive. Motion by Johnson, second by Schwer. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All in favor, say aye. Oh,
Aye.
hold on just a second. We need to vote. Let's vote. All in favor, say aye, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion